Hey guys, Jerry here, and welcome back to GregTech. Today we are back at the notice board because today what I want to achieve, or at least to get started on, is the mob trap down here. Getting gunpowder the lazy way. Basically, I'm starting to run into a number of issues with my land because I've been on this land for quite a while. And that is that the more I light up the underground, the higher density of spawns I get in areas that are no light. It's quite simple math, really. If you have 1,000 squares where mobs can spawn, they're going to be spread pretty evenly over those 1,000 squares. But if you reduce that to 100 squares, you still get the same number of mobs spawning. That's something I can't change. But because I only have 100 squares, then each one of those squares is much more likely to get a mob spawning on it. And that is causing me some issues, because if there is just a single bit of light missing in any of my buildings or around my base or anywhere, then chances are really good that during a night a mob will spawn there, and that can give some real issues if it's a creeper. So that's why I have started this construction out here. Now what you're looking at here is the basis for a so-called sinkhole mob trap. What this is, in the most basic sense of the word, is a mob trap where over here I'll have a killing system with a lava blade. Something I've been, pretty much, this mob traps are pretty much the reason I got into Minecraft and started being interested in it. A good friend of mine had been playing Minecraft before me, and he showed me this massive mob trap he'd built. Showed me how efficient it was and what he actually achieved with it, and I was really impressed. So I built my own, which was slightly bigger than his, because, well, I had to. And since then I've actually been trying to keep a mob trap in pretty much every world I have. In part because it makes your world a lot safer, but also it does give access to some resources that, for the most part, are quite nice to have. Like rotten flesh I can make into methane. The bones, of course, I can use for growing plants and such quickly. The gunpowder for TNT, blowing up tunnels. If I had like a large supply of gunpowder, digging that tunnel to the end pole and the oil outpost would have been a lot easier. So that's a large part of why I want to build this mob trap here. Now, I decided on the sinkhole design because it's simple, it's rather easy, and it's easy to understand. There is another design, which is the water canal one, that is slightly more efficient. If for anyone who's watched the Agrarian Skies series, or Skyden, might be spoiler for Agrarian Skies, but basically we're going with a canal design there. But I think I'm gonna make this one a sinkhole to start with, which means first of all I'll need to put water in this canal here. I'll need to cover the entire bottom bit here in water, so basically I'll be filling in these holes, and then adding water on top of that, so the water will push mobs into the central channel. And then they will go down here, fall down, not be able to climb up, and over here will be a lava blade killing them, some ladders holding them up, and then the mobs, the drops rather, will fall into this hole down here, where I can then pick them up with hoppers or obsidian pipes or whatnot, and carry the loot inside. So that's the design, that's the idea. So I'd say let's just get right onto it. I have prepared a number of materials. I've also, as you can see, this entire area here is lit up and such, and I really want to include this in my base as well. I just need to start moving the fence, really. It is lit up, it's supposed to be rather mob free, I just haven't moved the fence just yet. But that's something that's gonna come very soon. I think I might actually have a bit of fence I can get started with here. And then other than that, I was gonna grab some cobblestone for the floor, because cobblestone is something I have a lot of and it's very easy to get. And I also wanted some planks. Now the reason I want planks is, actually let's just fill all of this in here. It's really an aesthetic choice, but if I ever want to dig below the mob trap, I would like to have not have water dripping onto my face. So I'm gonna grab some planks as well here. And then we're gonna fill in the bottom layer of the hole with the planks, and then put cobblestone on top. Again, it's just so I can easily differentiate if I ever need to dig below the thing, and I know so I know exactly from down there where it is, and I don't randomly dig into it and ruin it. I also need to get a couple of ladders. I need to get a couple of buckets of lava, but that really is not a problem since I have 1200 buckets of the stuff. But yeah, just to kind of show you guys what the plan is for now. Fill in bottom bit here with planks. And then the top with cobble. And then I'll have water source blocks all along this wall over here. I'll need to build that a bit high, of course, as well. Which will push mobs toward here. They'll fall down into the central channel where there will be water source blocks here, which, if I've measured correctly, should drop down here, and then end here. And then there'll be ladders right there on these 3 blocks with lava source blocks over there flowing out, causing a lava blade to form here. The ladders will keep the mobs on the surface, and the drops will hopefully fall through into this little hole here. So that's the plan. And it's raining. But yeah, I'm gonna execute this plan. Again, you've already seen how placing blocks work. There's no reason for me to show that repeatedly over and over again. So once we're ready to proceed with the next plan, I'll see you guys then. Alright, so far so good. As you can see, I've filled in the floor now. We have all of this ready to put in water almost. I still need to build up the wall around it so that the water will actually go where I want it to be. So that should be a quick fix really, because I just need the 1 layer of wall here to put in the water. I figure I might as well just get the water in immediately, the same with the lava, get the systems up and running, just so I can troubleshoot those before I start building up. I don't expect any trouble, but if there is something that doesn't work, I'd want to know about it as soon as possible. So let's get this done here. There we are. And if we look over here, I should have 3 ladders ready. Yeah, so we can jump over here, put these ladders right there. Now these ladders will prevent the lava from flowing down, and since lava only flows 4 blocks in the overworld, it should end right here where the mobs enter it. So right now, what I need to do is dig down here. And then I should either have a water channel down here to collect the stuff, like push it into an obsidian pipe over here or something, or a hopper for that matter. But I need to be able to get down here without hurting myself, so let's just make a quick escape route there. And then we can put in the lava. So 1 block there, 1 block there, and 1 block here. And that should do the trick. Now that right there is what they call a lava blade. And if you walk into that, you get lit on fire. So I'm not gonna do that, I'm gonna try to avoid that. And then we can grab some water to fill in the remaining floor. 3 sources should be fine. 2 should be more than fine, because I can just keep remaking more sources up here as I go. And finally I need a way to actually get up, so let's put some scaffolding. I made some scaffolding because, first of all, I love that block, like it's so useful. And secondly, in terms of making this look like a construction site, which, again, for role-playing reasons, I kinda enjoy. It makes a lot of sense to have scaffolding around. So yeah, water measured out absolutely perfectly. So this flow is just as it should be. So any mob that falls down there will get pushed into the lava blade and will not be able to escape, so they will die. Just how we want it to be. So now I just need to fill in the gaps here. And there we are, that's half the water done. Again, it looks a bit strange here with the water kind of reaching up to the side, but it as you can see from the way it flows, it's still working perfectly, so no reason at all to worry about that. It's working as intended. And finally, there we are. Alright, we now have the killing floor all done, almost. We still need to collect the stuff that actually drops here. But that really is... it's not a minor detail, but it's quite a vital detail, I'd even venture as far as saying, but it's not something that's preventing me from actually finishing this thing. It's not a question is. Yeah, I think we can build across here. Now, this bit over here, I really don't mind daylight at all. Like, I really don't mind it. As a matter of fact, I think it would be quite cool to have this section here completely visible. Again, it's maybe a bit masochistic, I don't know. And then if we put slabs here, we'll have a nice gentle slope. But like being able to watch all the mobs die, that's kind of fun. And besides, the light coming in here should not affect the spawner itself, because all the platforms will be elevated above this point. So let's see. I need some slabs here as well. That's one too many. And finally, there we are. Beautiful. Alright, so we have this section here completed. I think I can fill, that should mean I can fill in these little access ports here. We don't need those. And then we can start building up the walls and actually, you know, getting the spawning platforms in. Now, the spawning platforms themselves, there's going to be a bit of an, not an issue with them, but it's going to be a small challenge with them, because we'll need to line them with either signs or open trapdoors. And while signs are rather a bit cheaper, I think that the open trapdoors work better. I don't quote me on this, I have no way of knowing for sure, but for some reason I have the feeling that the trapdoors would work better. It's what I've tried most of the time, and it's what seems to work for me. So now the question is, of course, how to lay out the spawning platforms up here, because I want them to be large enough to spawn spiders, and I want them to be far enough apart that these spiders can fall into holes. And then spiders are pretty close to 2 blocks wide. Not actually quite sure exactly how wide they are, but they're like 2 blocks thereabouts. The gaps needs to be that large, at the very least. Let's see. I need one more layer before we can start putting in platforms, so let's just quickly get that done. I'll skip ahead. Alright, we got the last layer in here, so if we build the first spawning platform at this layer, there'll be a free height gap underneath, which should not clog up anything when, like, what I really don't want to have is mobs being pushed against the platform and thus getting stuck in here, so let's try to avoid that. Now, the spawning platforms themselves, I'm just going to make out of cobblestone because I have so much of the stuff. And again, just to kind of figure out how we want to do these, there are a couple of different ways we can do them. Like, the smallest size they can have really is 2x2. That'll increase the kill rate the most, because there'll be more sides for them to fall off of. But because I want a 2-block gap on each side, you can see it's gonna be limited how many I can fit in here. But we can try and just set them up and see how it looks. 1, 2, and then there's not gonna be enough room for a full one here. So the question is, if we do 3 there, and let's see, 3 there, then we can have, get rid of that. We can have 3 platforms of 3 wide in that size. Yeah. All right, let's do this for now. Now I still haven't quite figured out how I want to do it on the long length here. Let's just try and do the same, really. So we go out here, 2 blocks out, and then 1 more, build the platform. Then repeat. And of course, once I've actually decided on the platform shape and position, I'm gonna need to put in trapdoors. As you can see in my hotbar, I've actually made a couple of trapdoors, so that should all be ready to do. Alright, so now we have this. Now let's see, how many blocks do we actually have on the long side here? 1, 2, well, if we discount these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright, so that's an uneven number as well. Let's put in a line of cobble here. And then say, alright, so the middle bit is right above here. So if we start by making 1 free here, then we go 2. We can make these corner ones, or side ones, 4. So they'd be 4 by 3. or we can go for 4 platforms instead. 4 platforms in a line. Let's try to quickly fill this in and see how that looks. I kind of like this design. So 4x3s in the side and then 3x3s in the middle. Let's go with this. And then we can put in the trapdoors. Alright. So filling in the chosen design. 4. Can I reach? Just barely. Yeah, I'm gonna skip ahead a bit. And there we have it. No, just a small skip there. But now all the platforms are in. I still have some pathways between them. But now it's just a matter of putting in these trapdoors. Now, I think I'm gonna put them on the bottom level here, and then we can open them up like this. And then, of course, I'm gonna need to get rid of all of this. But basically, this makes the mobs believe that what they're standing on is a full block. And they will thus happily wander off the side. I'm wondering exactly how many I'm gonna need for one layer. I have a stack. I could do the math for it, or I could just measure it out. Or I could make mistakes. Scrap that again. But again, making a mob trap is possibly one of the most boring to watch things you could possibly imagine with Minecraft, because it is just a lot of construction. It's a lot of placing blocks and repeating patterns. Once you have the design down, there is really not much left to watch here. So, like, if you're wondering why there are so many cuts in this episode, that's why. I really don't want to, you know, bore you guys by just having you sit through every single step of the construction here. But at least it's easy to see where I have been and where I still need to add. That's something. And there, I'm out. How many did I get all my bridges? Yes, I did. I think that's about half of what I need. Alright, I'll go make another stack and then we'll fill in the rest. See you in a bit. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be it. Let's have a look around. Yeah, it looks as though there is platforms, trapdoors everywhere where they're needed. So that is a total of 120 platforms for one level. Alright. Well, 2 stacks, basically. That's a pretty good number to work with. So what I need to do now is build up the walls again. I need to get them free higher. Which means I need to go 2 ways around, because, well, for some reason you can't reach 3 blocks below you when trying to like build a wall like this. So yeah, I'm gonna get the walls up, and then I'm gonna try and put on a roof on this level. I'm gonna copy the pattern in cobblestone, and then I'm gonna fill in the rest with dirt, I think. Just because it's easy to dig out again. Once I want to make the next level, and then hopefully we can get our first mob spawning in here by the end of this episode. But again, a bit more construction to be done, so I'll get that done, and then hopefully you guys will get to see a bit more of the interesting stuff rather than just me placing blocks. So see you in a bit. And now we're just about ready to put the final touches on it. I've lit up the surface of it because, well, it was necessary, basically. So let's just put a couple extra torches around here just to make sure that stuff doesn't spawn on top of it. It's a rather big structure, so chances are that it could spawn some stuff. See, one there, and let's put one over here as well. There we are. Beautiful. Alright, so it should now be completely dark inside, pretty much, with the exception of like whatever light's coming in from here. And if we... oh, we can pick up stuff here. You shouldn't jump in here, by the way. But if we stand like here on the stairs, we might be able to see that it looks pretty dark in there, yeah. So what we need to do now is get 24 blocks away from it. I really need to like measure out where exactly that is, but basically anywhere around our base pretty much should be far enough away for it to actually spawn stuff. And if that stuff then gets killed, well, there should be some loot for us before too long in there. Now, I need to figure out exactly what I want to do for the loot collection system, but that again, it requires that the killing system in itself is actually working. And until I determine that, I'm not really going to design a looting system. What I am gonna do instead, however, is make, or I'm planning at least, a hole in the wall here, so I need to move these beds. Basically, with the base expanding in that direction now, I need to be able to get through here without necessarily walking all the way around the factory, so... And besides, the beds were really not that well positioned right there. Should we put them up here and then maybe make this like a living space or something? Could do. Put the beds there. Little nice throne thingy there. We can always try to like make it a canopy bed or something. So poke a hole here. Yoink. There we are. Beautiful little hole. And for now, let's just jump over here. See, has anything spawned? Again, we're far enough away that it might have. See, anything? Nope. But then again, it is not a big area in here. It is not that big yet. And I'm not expecting a flood of stuff. But I was hoping that something would spawn here before I end this episode, so... What I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna go over and build this door, and then hopefully by the time I'm done with that, something will have spawned and dropped some stuff in there, so we can actually determine that it's working. So, yeah. I'm afraid you guys get yet another cut, but I'm hoping you can deal with it. And we're back. It sounds as though a zombie might have spawned in there. I can hear someone groaning in there at least. So I am hoping that that is a zombie that's gonna come down here and actually burn. But we'll see if he actually manages to drop down. Oh, there's a creeper coming. Alright, that should be a good test to see if the killing mechanism is working. Creepers, of course, are notoriously silent, so it's really hard to detect their presence by sound alone. Let's see, he's burning, and the gunpowder drops into the water and is pushed into the little gap underneath. Is the same gonna happen with the zombie? Let's see here. Starts burning, he's killing by the lava. And his loot is either not there or it got eaten by lava. Again, it's not lossless, nothing with lava really is. But it seems to be working, so yay! I think next time we're then gonna start building a loot collection system and to bring the stuff inside. Again, I'm thinking something simple. Actually, we could potentially use a minecart or something, but on the other hand, we could also just use a pipe. I think we're just gonna go with a Buildcraft pipe and some a bit of water and a hopper or something like that. That'll be good. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move this cobblestone wall here so we actually have this area fenced in, and then I'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Jerry, this has been GregTech, building a mob trap vanilla style, but next time we're gonna amplify it, modded Minecraft style. I'll see you then. Bye.